All right, that signifies that we are going to start the Finance Committee meeting. It is Tuesday, December 2nd. I am Katie Logan Hedges, Chairperson of the Finance Committee, and with me we have committee members Jeff Hallinan and Tom Duval, as well as other council members. Melissa, could we please do a roll call?
Hedges.
Here.
Hallinan.
Here.
Duval.
Yep, here.
Thank you. So Melissa sent out the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was November 18th. Any questions, comments, changes to those minutes?
No problem.
Okay, hearing none, is there
So
moved by Tom Duval?
Second.
Seconded by Jeff Hallinan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So we do have 3 pieces of business on the agenda. I am going to add one, which we will get to in a few minutes. We're going to have also Haven House speak to their opioid funds. They are a recipient of these funds and are asking for more money in 2026. I'm sorry. So Melissa, if we can go ahead and get started, can you please read letter A under new business?
A resolution authorizing the use of opioid funds to Committwe Addiction Action Coalition and declaring an emergency.
Thank you very much. So with us, we have Amy Reimer from PAC. For those of us who were at the last council meeting, PAC came and gave an update to how they've used their $10,000 that they receive yearly. As part of that update, they asked for an additional funding, a one-time additional funding for 2026. So that is what brought them to the finance meeting. That information was provided at the council meeting, but is also in front of you with the handout that Amy provided. But I will turn it over to Amy so she can give us a quick description of the additional money that they are asking for 2026.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Amy Reimer, and I work for Committwe Addiction Action Coalition, 770 North Court Street. We appreciate the $13,000 that we received this past year. Went very well with all that money. And coming up this year in 2026, our youth are speaking up. They want to work with helping with the younger kids, want to gear towards mental health, where it goes down the rabbit hole of substance use and misuse and vapes, cigarettes, alcohol, you name it. And so they have come up with a few things. We are starting to discuss the next guest speaker for next year for our Be the Difference Youth Rally. This past September, we had Ryan Miller, no, I can't remember his name. Harry Miller. Harry Miller from Ohio State. And it was very well received. We had positive comments, and we had administration who wished they would have brought more students there. And so now we're looking for bigger and better regarding our mental health and where things are going in our world today. So we are continuing to work with PARS in the summer at the camps down at Ted Lewis Park. I worked at PAR's middle school event a couple of weeks ago, and I was excited. The numbers went up, and we actually had kids from the 4 schools in the county: Tays Valley, Westfall, Logan Elm, and Circleville, middle school 6th through 8th grade. That's a big accomplishment because that doesn't always happen, especially when moms are home on Friday night. They don't want to drive all the way back into town. So we had a very good turnout, and they do that quarterly. We will be helping again there. Our biggest thing regarding for next year, as well as the guest speaker, would be our mascot. And that would be to start working with the schools and their mascots. Kids, elementary level, tend to gravitate to a mascot. And so this would be more approachable, and they would have a person walking with them, bringing positive messaging and making good choices along the way as they're growing up. We would also have stickers, bracelets, stress balls. Our biggest thing is that we have Operation Parent books that we have passed out at middle school open houses. Very easy reading to these parents to make that conversation keep going about the texting, the anxiety, the bullying, cell phones, you name it, you got it, the vapes, everything. Very easy, very approachable at their level. And we would like to order more of those books, but we would like to be able to provide either a 2nd grade or a 3rd grade at every open house. It will be on the desk for the parent when they come in. Because not all parents come to parent-teacher conferences, but majority of them come to those open houses. So if we can get a book into those parents' hands, then it will have information they can talk and discuss with their child. So the rest of the other things would be working with in regards to the penguin mascot to keep it going. The Easy Up tent, we've gone and done a few summer things and we've had to borrow a few tents just because it's a little humid out there in the summertime. So does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. So to recap, this specific ordinance that is in front of the Finance Committee is not for the money that they asked for that we renew year after year as long as they come to do a presentation and the money is available. This is specifically for an additional, as Amy just outlined, $15,000 one-time ask.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments for Amy?
I was just trying to remember if we asked why the penguin.
Well, we're the rock. When it was really funny because after Googling it, we were thinking about packs, what goes in packs. Well, penguins, they mate for life. They give each other a rock. And our youth group's name is the Rock Roots of Change. Because some child might have an ace at home regarding, whether it's living with grandma and grandpa, or they have had to move because of jobs, those types of situations. But it's what's the root of the problem? What's their root? Every child has a different root. And so we want to be there to be able to help them mentally, physically, emotionally, and how to succeed in life.
Perfect.
So just one other thing to highlight is, so when the opioid funds became available for Pickaway County, we were told, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, an approximate of $31,000 a year.
That's correct.
And so we have identified a couple of organizations that we had agreed would receive renewable money as long as, again, the funds exist and they give us a presentation. It has been the history of the opioid funds to be coming in at a much larger amount than the 31,000. So we have entertained one-time asks such as this in order to be compliant with giving away the opioid money and to organizations like PAC that are best suited to spend it.
That said, we have sufficient. If someone else comes in for one spot money, they also have money left.
So last time I checked, we had a large sum. Could you give us the update of what is in the account currently?
Currently, we have available let me rephrase that. Currently, we have in the account 257,000. We have 218,000 available that has not been appropriated.
Thank you. And so PAC pickup cars all receive renewable money as well as Haven House.
That's correct.
Moving forward.
So motion by Tom Duval to move this forward to the next council meeting with a recommendation for passage.
Second?
Seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Can we please do a roll call, Melissa?
Hedges,
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
All right. That will move forward to our next council meeting on December 16th.
Thank you very
Thank you, ma'am.
much.
Thank you for being here, Amy.
Thank you. All right, Melissa, can we read B, please?
An ordinance amending the annual appropriation ordinance in the general fund 101 of the city of Circleville.
Thank you very much. So this is our 11th housekeeping ordinance of the year. Likely will be our last. So I will give this over to Mark. It's pretty basic. I think it nets to zero. Is that correct? So it's really just moving things in and out more than anything. But Mark, is there anything high level you want to give us an overview of?
It is a net zero. What this is taking money out of current funds that we will no longer be using for the year, or we'll be using the total amount available and moving those into a few payroll funds that we're going to be short by the end of the year. So again, it's going to be moving money out of other lines and moving it into payroll.
Very good. Questions for Mark? He provided the chart like he normally does for a description of all of the items. Questions, comments?
No questions?
Not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to forward it on to the next council.
Motion by Jeff Hallinan, seconded by Tom Duval. Melissa?
Hedges,
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That too will move. Yes.
Thank you to Mark to say, I actually can understand it. Thank you.
Good. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Very good. That will move forward to December 16th with a recommendation for passage as well. Item C, please.
Resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to turn this over to Mark. This is something that actually I believe is supposed to maybe be done in October, but Mark did not receive the information from the auditor needed to do that, to provide it. So Mark, do you want to speak a little bit to where this is?
Yes, thank you. So what this is, every year we do our tax budget, which basically tells us how much or estimates how much we're going to be receiving the following year. This was completed back in June of 2025 of this year. Then it was sent to the county auditor. The county auditor is then supposed to send it back to us in order for us to basically say, to show that we are agreeing with what I put together and what the county is saying as far as property tax revenue and that kind of stuff. There were some changes in the budget commission this year at the county level. So as a result, there was some questions back and forth and some changes that needed to be made. So I did finally receive it yesterday, and all it is just, again, approving what you already approved back in June and showing the property taxes mainly.
Very good. Thank you very much. Questions, comments for Mark? If not, is there a motion? Motion by Tom Duval,
Second.
seconded by Jeff Hallinan. Alyssa?
Hedges,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
All right, that too will move forward to December 16th for a recommendation for passage. So that concludes the agenda, but we are going to add Lisa Johnson. So Lisa Johnson is the executive director of Haven House. She reached out to me this week and asked if she could get put on the next finance meeting agenda to discuss how Haven House has used their opioid funds, as well as ask for additional funds for 2026. As this is likely our last finance meeting of the year, I wanted Lisa to have the opportunity to come in as soon as possible. So we did add her to the agenda, which we are allowed to do. If we were to make a motion, we would just be motioning for the law director to put together a resolution to forward to council, just so everybody's clear on the process. Okay. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, dear. What we have done is use the funding to pay for an advocate to work with those who have previously been opioid dependent and who are freeing themselves from the opioids and their families. We have 7 women and 13 children that participated, and there has been very good outcomes from that participation. We hope there's no question that we'll have more. And I have to read, because if I don't, I'll wander and cuss, so I better read.
Lisa, good idea.
Barry knows me well. Thank you first for allowing me to address the Finance Committee. As you know, I'm Lisa Johnson, the director of Haven House. We have a 32-bed facility, 2 kitchens, sleeping rooms, 6 bathrooms, laundry facility, a classroom, administrative offices, and storage. We survived through grants from the Offices of Criminal Justice Services, Ohio Attorney General's Office, Pickaway County Marriage and Divorce Fees, Pickaway County Community Foundation, individual donations, and our annual fundraisers. Our funding is allocated and changes each year, and some years we struggle. So every dime helps. We provide services to all victims of domestic violence, but also provide housing for homeless women and children. We are the only shelter for homeless women and children in Pickaway County. The homeless in our shelter come from many walks of life and circumstances, but they're all in crisis. The homeless in our community are not all addicted to drugs or in any way use drugs. So it's necessary to separate homeless from drug abuse. However, in saying that, many of the individuals and families that come to us have had or continue to have attempted to self-medicate and have had or are addicted to opiates. 17 years ago, when one of my own came to me to help for opioid addiction, there was a waiting list. There was nowhere to go. Once you turn someone away, they're done. They're right back where they went. If you don't catch them when they say, I'm ready to get help, they're done because they cannot. The pain is too much. The addiction is too much. So we have to help them when they come to us for help. So there is no longer a waiting list, thank God. That isn't the case due to the recognition of the opioid epidemic. And then more and more opportunities became available to treat those who were in need of assistance. These facilities have helped to lessen the addictions to opioids. However, after treatment and leaving the treatment centers, they often have nowhere to go to maintain their sobriety. That is where Haven House comes in. Some of our clients who are homeless and some of our victims of domestic violence are coming out of sober living, but try to live with their friends and family, but because those family members are using, they can't remain there. They can't stay clean. We often receive calls from the Magistrate Shelley Harsh's Drug Court, Judge Peters at Municipal Court, and Pickaway County Children's Services to see if we have beds available for these individuals and families to help them maintain a clean and sober living environment until they're able to transition into their own permanent housing, which we accommodate if in any way possible. Currently, I have 32 beds. I have one bed empty, and that's because it's in a room with a victim who is male, and we don't have another male to put on the top bunk because I could fill that bed as well. This is why I addressed you tonight. We were awarded $10,000 from the opioid funds to pay partial pay to our empowerment advocate and for essentials to do her job. Our advocate provided service to our clients through one-on-one casework to identify any barriers to their sobriety. She connected them to resources within the community to remove the barriers that she and her client have identified. She promoted services and engaged for self-directed plans to improve their overall health and well-being, promoting long-term recovery of addiction. These funds were instrumental in providing advocacy for those who are remaining clean from opioids. We'd like to request this line item amount be increased to $20,000, or if we can't get it on a regular, just an additional $10,000, so we can continue to provide these services to others and increase the number of clients participating. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. I invite you to call me. I'd be glad to give you a tour of the shelter. I'd love to have you all come one at a time or all at once. You have to keep confidentiality of our clients, but I know that you guys can do that. This is one way that the city is able to help us provide services to these families, and I appreciate your consideration.
Thanks, Lisa.
Any questions?
So to recap, PARS, PICA, and PAC were the first three that came to us. They were awarded a continuous amount of money. We've had organizations come since then, and we've stuck to a kind of a $10,000 per organization per year for renewal until the money exists. Lisa was one of those through Haven House. So
Thank you very much for that.
yeah, thank you. Presentation of how you spent the money. $10,000 again would be for next year. So just to be clear on your ask is a one-time additional $10,000 to
Understood.
continue to help cover the cost of the staff member.
Mhm. And to increase the services that would,
Yeah.
you know, there's information we can purchase. There's things that we can get that will help to carry on this through so that it's something tangible that they can walk away with. So
As much as you can include in that request would be awesome.
I'm
As much of
sorry.
That, as much of that as that you can include in that request, that would be perfect.
What I've heard tonight is that the worst thing I think we can possibly do is have money left and not spent. And on that basis, I would move forward with this as well.
So I'm going to second that based on, I think you could make an argument that you cover additional costs for the staff member.
Yes.
So I would second it. So again, what we're doing is we're asking for the law director to develop a piece of a resolution that would then be forwarded to council on the 16th. Okay. Melissa, can we please do a roll?
Hedges,
Yes.
Hallinan.
Yes.
Duval.
Yes,
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Lisa, we would ask that your annual report that you read is emailed. Part of our process is that we ask that you email your report to the mayor, the auditor, council president, and the finance committee chair, just so we have record of your report for for this current year.
We will do that.
Thank you. All right, that concludes all of our agenda items. Is there anything under old or other business? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Motion by Jeff
Second.
Hallinan, seconded by Tom Duval. We are adjourned at 6:49.